Swiggity sorty, let's get that booty.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Slim Cogcast. It is I, Slim Cognito, and bro, it's been quite the week, but it's been a good week. Like I told y'all last week, I think I did, but I've been starting back my workouts and early morning workouts, and I've been feeling much better, a lot more full of energy, and things feel good. You know what I mean? So shout out to those who support and those who have helped me start this journey, and let's see if we can keep it up. That being said, let's jump into what I've been watching this week. So basically, I've been watching hella shit this week because number one, Hawkeye episode 3 almost made me want to cry. And they've been doing a great job with this antagonist, and the fact that when she was introduced, slight spoilers, it's just episode 3 but slight spoilers, when she was introduced to be, you know, a part of the Tracksuit Mafia, she was, I can't recall if she's mute, not deaf, so she speaks in sign, and her father was in the Tracksuit Mafia and he taught her signing at a young age, but he forced her to go to a school with normal kids and not special needs kids. And he, you know, told her that it'll make her stronger for it. And it was also heart-wrenching. And I was just like, oh, the poor baby. So, you know, it's great. It's great so far. It didn't rope me in all the way in the first 2 episodes, but now I'm all the way in. And honestly, I think this is going to go somewhere great. It might lead to something that might blow our minds, to be honest with you. And it's a Christmas tale. Like I said last week, what's wrong with having a Christmas tale? This is the only thing I'm watching that makes me feel like I'm in the season. Now, aside from all of that though, I really do enjoy the idea that this is also Hawkeye's growth as well. Because one of the best things to get over, or, you know, I feel like he's still grieving for Nat, and, you know, the best way for him to get over that and be able to move past it all, especially with the things that they go through and see and fight, is dealing with creating way for the future, you know. And that right there is like in turn a whole metaphorical, you know, thing about what's to come in the MCU, and it's great. So can't wait, and I hope y'all ready too. Outside of that, I know it's time for me to talk about what y'all ready for me to talk about, because I'm ready to talk about it, and we need to talk about it. Let's go ahead and talk about it. I'm ready to talk about it. Boy, they dropped the first 12 episodes of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 6 Stone Ocean on Netflix this past week. And when I tell you that it is great, it looks beautiful. They've retooled the plot a little bit, just slight tweaks, you know what I mean, in order to make it flow better in an animated sense in a 30-minute runtime. Because honestly, a lot of people have to consider that the episodes that we were watching had to have commercial slots and in the previous seasons, and they also there were certain issues with the manga's flow that were, you know, wavered away, I guess you could say, because you're reading a manga, and it's much easier to digest in that state, in that sense. Plus, there were a lot of things that Araki has already admitted that he's made changes throughout as he went on, until he revisited certain things and scenes later on in the manga, which is a normal thing that mangakas do. So you'll just have to see the fully realized version right now, as well as the colors. A lot of people were confused as to the colors of these characters and their outfits and etc., and thinking that it was supposed to be XYZ123, but Araki's idea of what these people's colors were never considered, because it was all of the manga versions that you've seen in full color were not colored by Araki. They were colored by someone else, a third party. And now the anime that David Productions has given us, I would assume I couldn't find any like documented you know, fact about this, but it seems to me that these are the colors that Araki would prefer. So yeah, and it all looks great to me. I like it. I'm loving it. I like Jolene's outfit. Everything looks good. The blue and yellow with the green. Gwes looks great. The voice acting is amazing. The music is astounding. It's all flowing together perfectly, and I love it. Now, one thing I'll get into without spoiling anything at all is just that the fact that this anime is not missing any beats and is doing what it should and could. There are certain things that you would have to notice, but you would only notice if you're a manga watcher. So I believe that this is a moment, this season right here, just like part 5, is a moment where the people who watch the anime only are winning and they are ahead, because you're getting the best of it. The only thing you're missing out on are slight things about copyright that are missing. One thing I will mention for those who don't know, and it's not a spoiler, but the scene where Hermes stirs from unconsciousness and she tries her best to make sure that her memory is not affected, she immediately started to chant in the manga. She told herself, okay, this is Mickey Mouse's birthday, and you know, etc, etc, etc. But that was changed because Netflix, who David Productions produced this on Netflix under WB, the Warner Brothers, it was changed from Mickey Mouse to Bugs Bunny. So these little things have been changed, but they don't take away from the story at all. Should be fine, and I hope y'all enjoy it. So I really want to see y'all, if you have the time, to stop by the stream, or you know, give me a holler on Twitter and let me know what you think about part 6 so far, because I'm enjoying it. I've enjoyed it thoroughly, and we've gotten 12 episodes and can't wait to see the rest. I think at this point it's gonna take, this one might be about, say, 30-ish episodes, maybe in the 40s. So we'll have to see for this season. But other than that, this is a good long run anime, and we should be able to enjoy it, and I hope y'all do. Anywho's, now let's jump from that to by the way, another thing that I watched this week, I decided to go back and rewatch I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, and I hadn't seen it since I was a lad, and maybe a few times when I was a little older, like early teens, but still a decent watch. Actually, the comedy in it translates very well into internet humor, but I enjoyed it, and the Wayans do a good job. I say they should, maybe dust off the old cinematography, hands, and get back in there. Maybe for a couple more projects, maybe a few more projects. Hell, who knows? But other than that, it was a good time. Classic. And it had some actual major key lessons that could be learned. You know what I mean? But yeah, hey, that's another thing for another time. I wonder if Hood's Prim Cinema did something on that. I need to check that out. But anywho's, next thing on the docket. Well, the first thing on the docket, because we're finna jump into the news. Oh shit, no. I gotta talk about what I've been playing this week. Okay, so this past week, we beat Resident Evil 1, and it's been crazy. And after Resident Evil 1 with Chris, honestly, I gotta say, because I know what to do, and I was a little better at the tactics, and I chose not to kill zombies, the game got easier. You know what I'm saying? I was better at it. I was able to manage my inventory, etc. So yeah, Chris having Rebecca to heal him, and etc., and all these different parts that Chris was not able to do because he's not able to play piano, or he doesn't understand how to mix chemicals and medical things, so he couldn't make the whatever the solution was to kill the plant, so he had to brute force fight it with guns. So yeah, I really did love that. That was nice, and it shook things up to give you a different experience. And I'm also kind of tempted to say that Resident Evil should go back to the split story mode, type of fashion, because the game that suffered the most for not having it was 3, and 2 is still goated. So I don't know if I should even go down that road of disagreeing with that. But yeah, it was great. I enjoyed Resident Evil 1 more than Resident Evil 3. And I'll just have to see about the remakes when we reach them, because those will be next after we beat OG Resident Evil 2. Right now we're taking a small interlude between those, and we're playing Charles Barkley, Shut Up and Jam Gaiden, and Holy Umbrella, which is longer than I thought it would be. But it's actually very fun and slightly challenging, and I can't wait to play more. Actually, I've been thinking about it nonstop. So I'll see y'all tomorrow on Tuesday afternoon or evening or night, depending on wherever y'all live. And yeah, it's gonna be great. Personally, I feel like it's a game that should have made it to the West. I feel like it should have made it to the West. But anywho's, now, first and foremost, Charles Barkley's Shut Up and Jam Gaiden is so good, and it's way better than it should be for a fan meme game, like being one of the first indie meme games, you know what I mean? It was an original RPG Maker title that became a standalone, and it is astounding. And the jokes, the witty banter, the pseudo-scientific plot, like, it's so good. The Chaos Dunk destroyed Manhattan, and millions of people died because of Charles Barkley doing the Chaos Dunk. And his son Hoops is now in the future, and he's the chosen one that's supposed to bring back basketball to the world. And Michael Jordan is this evil conglomerate for Blood Moses, who is a secret organization that's trying to recreate the Chaos Dunk and the ultimate B-ball that was originally the B-ball from Space Jam that gave the aliens their powers. Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. Larry Bird being a priest and Vince Carter being a cyborg. It's just great. It's just great all around. So if y'all like it, go ahead and check that out. We've already done 2 strenuous sessions of it, and it's been amazing so far. So I highly recommend y'all check that out. And if you like what you've heard and you don't want to be spoiled on it, just go get it. It's free. Just Google it. You could find it. It's a great time to be had. It's got good RPG mechanics. It's actually fun. There's active RPG mechanics, so you don't have to just press button then hit. You have to actually do slight little mini games and quick time event type things in order to, you know, get your damage out. And it's amazing in that sense. So it's highly engaging. So yeah, if you like what I've said thus far, jump in. Don't think about it. Just jump in. The music is astounding too, by the way. Now, Holy Umbrella is a SNES Japanese only title that is astounding. Recommendation from Hysteric Moon. Hello, Hysteric Moon. Shout out to a good friend of mine. And I was skeptical at first, but once I looked at some gameplay, I said, oh, I like the way this looks. It's actually neat, and I like the sprite work. So yeah, check it out. It's actually good. And apparently the premise, I can't read Japanese, but you don't need to know Japanese to know what to do next. And I only use a guide when I need to talk to certain NPCs in the towns between stages in order to know what's going on. But Holy Umbrella is a game where this kid was walking home on a rainy day, I suppose, and he, for some reason, there's this bright light that shined down and dropped an umbrella in front of him. And apparently this umbrella has mystical powers, and he uses this umbrella to attack and swing. So I guess those are the mystical powers of the umbrella. But as you go along and you have these platforming stages and you beat these parts, every time you complete a certain section or area and defeat the boss, which the boss fights are actually pretty good, you get a chance to not only meet new party members to add to your party, but you also get to find a new upgrade for your umbrella, which would either be earth, fire, and or ice. And each one has attributes that could help you with combat and traversal. And I like it. It's very well designed. All of that being said, it has these RPG mechanics, but not so much in the combat. The combat is all real-time platforming combat. So think of the way that ActRaiser, for those who know about ActRaiser for the SNES, ActRaiser has platforming, combat, 2D side-scrolling, combat stages, just opposed with a, top-down SimCity type of game design, and they go hand in hand. Whereas this game, Holy Umbrella, has the platforming, 2D side-scrolling combat, but instead of the SimCity sections, it's just, visit towns and talk to NPCs as if it were an RPG. So yeah, that's I can get behind that gameplay a lot, and I actually would love to see more games be made like that, modern day games to be made in such a fashion, because it's very unique and not done at all. And what would the gaming world love more than to drive a trend into the ground until we're sick and tired of it? So yeah, let's get down with that business. You go to the shops in the towns, you buy potions to rejuvenate you, and you get automatic revive items, etc., etc., using the money that you collect on your platforming stages. So it's a great game, and can't wait to see more. And I hope that the high hopes that I've gained from playing it thus far aren't tarnished by the time I get to the end. Anywho, that's been everything that we had to speak on what we've been done, because it's been a very eventful week. I've been so full of energy lately. So let's get into the news. First thing on the docket, GameSpot.com, Apex Legends loses game director and design director Chad Grenier, I think his name, or Grenier, and Jason McCord have left Respawn. Now, to sum everything up, they've been there at Respawn for 11 years, and that's quite a saga. And they've been very successful despite the EA overlords. So the fact that they made a successful first-person shooter, probably the best first-person shooter in my opinion on the market, despite being under EA and stifled by Origin, which best decision they ever made was to put the game on Steam. Despite all of these issues, everything about that game is perfect almost. They've given so much that they deserve to be able to succeed in whatever they're striking out to do right now. So the fact that they've left Respawn might be a good idea, and let's just hope that it comes to fruition. The last thing that he said in his tweet was, "No plans quite yet, going to walk the earth for a bit and recharge, stay tuned." So let's see what happens. Hopefully something great will come of it. But Titanfall itself, we got some bad news to come behind that, but let's say bittersweet news. Because beloved shooter Titanfall will be pulled from stores permanently, seeing as Respawn is delisting a game that defined a decade's worth of first-person shooters. Now, Respawn is being removed for the primary reason being that it was overwhelmingly defeated by hackers. Okay, people were hacking the game, aimbotting it up, wall hacking it up. You couldn't play the game fairly or get by and have a legitimate game almost at all on the PC version. And as far as the console, I'm pretty sure it just didn't have enough player base. It was an Xbox One exclusive, and I'm pretty sure most of those who play Titanfall are exclusively playing Titanfall 2. So I can see why they would pull the plug. It was suffering more than benefiting people. But yeah, that's the biggest issue that it was dealing with. So I wouldn't blame them. The biggest issue though, for me, because I like to look ahead, I'm afraid that those people who played Titanfall 2 might spill over who were hacking in Titanfall might spill over to 2, and I hope they don't. So let's pray that that doesn't happen, so God forbid. But still, dude, I don't know. But anywho, next thing on the docket, Rockstar Classic GTA Trilogy games have come back to PC, but console players are unhappy. To sum things up, over here on Toyste, which is a site I've never really viewed that often, but according to this here article written by Alexa Buzz, basically Rockstar decided to give the players the option to play the original games. You heard it here, folks. I'm talking about the original trilogy of GTA 3 Vice City and San Andreas without the graphical updates, meaning all of the older models. And they only included this with the trilogy of those who bought it on PC. Console people are wondering, okay, so when's this gonna come for us? And it's like Rockstar doing everything they can to just keep fucking up. Excuse me. Actually, you know what? If you haven't noticed by now, I'm trying to like curb my profanity, but I don't feel like I cursed it much. But anywho's, yeah. Next thing though is just that, well, to wrap things up on this article, basically, I've given you the footnotes and everything, and that's basically just Rockstar doing damage control right now. But yeah. Next thing on the docket, the Game Awards, which is coming up in a few days actually. Jeff Keighley made a public tweet because there's been outrage when everyone on Twitter caught wind that Activision Blizzard would be involved with the Game Awards. Everyone was like, okay, no, Jeff Keighley, we know that you would be a man of greater standards and not have these people be involved at all, etc., etc., etc. So, in response to the backlash, Jeff Keighley announced officially on Twitter, beyond his nominations, I can confirm that Activision Blizzard will not be a part of this year's The Game Awards. So, the Game Awards is a time of celebration for this industry, the biggest form of entertainment in the world. There is no place for abuse, harassment, or predatory particles in any company or any community. I also realize we have a big platform which can accelerate and inspire change. We are committed to that, but we all need to work together to build a better and more inclusive environment so everyone feels safe to build the world's best games. All of us are accountable to this standard. Incredible games and the talented developers who build them are who we want to celebrate. See you on Thursday. So yeah, that's everything that Jeff had to say about that topic. We already have covered Activision Blizzard several weeks in a row. I'm kind of tired of talking about them, but we need to make sure that it's known that they have a bunch of allegations about abuse and sexual misconduct in their workplace and toxic behaviors. So it's all come to light. Bobby Kotick is in the spotlight for improvements and change. So we'll just have to see what happens. But all in all, that's that. And Game Awards has justified themselves. Now, KitGuru.net. And lastly on the docket, Metroid Dread Studio begins working on new IP with 505 Games. Now, for those that don't know, 505 Games is a publisher known for Sniper Elite 2, Payday 2, Brothers of Tale of Two Sons, Terraria, Abzu, Dead by Daylight, Control, and Death Stranding. So 505 has published a lot of huge titles and they've been getting better and better since. So you'll just have to see what they're cooking up with our people Mercury Steam. Because Mercury Steam has been knocking it out of the park. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. They made good Metroidvanias and they kept improving on the design. And it kept getting better and better and better. And now, who knows what they're going to make now with 505. And it's probably going to be full of ideas that they couldn't use in Metroid Dread or a few games ago. So we'll just have to see. But other than that, I can't wait. I can't wait. But here we go. Let's hurry up and wait. Now, all that being said, y'all, that's everything on the article. That last one was pretty short. There's not much on it, but you can read it yourself if you so choose. But the most important thing was that it's going to be a brand new IP and it's going to be multi-platform on PC and console. So get your hype appropriately ready. All that being said, y'all, thank you for listening. Don't forget to check out the stream Tuesdays to Saturdays. Every one of those days in between from 1 p.m. to about 10 o'clock p.m. Depending on how I feel, it might be like 9:30. So yeah, y'all go stop by, check it out. You might have some fun and can't wait to see y'all there. With that being said as well, Always remember the channel motto: intentions are the most important, actions ain't nothing but loud, and words don't mean a damn thing. Y'all take care of yourselves. I promise I'm gonna do a YouTube video this time. And peace. For a flame driver, it is not. Damn. This shit, Jimmy.